Were you entertained last night on Big Brother? Were you entertained? Did it give you everything that you needed, that you thought you needed? Did it give you what you wanted? I mean, it had an eviction, it had a jury segment, it had a cookout segment, and it had a final three. Yes, we are down to the final three, but spoiler alert, everybody. I'm going to cover this early. Turner won part one. Now, I wonder if Monty is regretting taking Turner instead of Brittany, because it seems as though it was an endurance competition because they were talking about holding on and all this stuff and gripping. So, you could have easily have beat Brittany. But I'm actually happy that I don't have to hear Brittany's voice and something about her voice. Because typically her tone would not annoy me, but it's just like, oh my God. I mean, this is like the greatest moment of my life, a lifelong dream. It's just, I'm glad we don't have to hear that. But it's like, who's now at risk? Like, now Monty and Taylor have to go up against each other, and only one can go to the final two. So who's gonna go? But back to the actual episode. Brittany got evicted. They went into the jury house. So like, dun da da da, Terrence shows up. Then dun da da da, Michael shows up. Then dun da da da, Alyssa shows up and says, "Well, Taylor's been in bed with Monty all week." And Joseph was like, what? And so, everybody everybody in the Twitter land, everybody's like, oh my God, I feel so bad for Joseph. Oh, he's hurt. He's traumatized. Oh no, Taylor. I really don't think Joseph cares, to be honest, but you know where I stand if you've seen a previous video with Joseph, but we're not going to go there. But I really feel like this is all TV production, making everything happen. Then they show Joseph talking to camera in his confessional. Oh, that's their business. Okay, yeah, it is their business. And Joseph, what's a player to do when you're gone? So Taylor linked up with Monty, who, I was reminded, Taylor, when she first saw Monty, when she got into the house, she was like, ooh, look at him. But he wasn't checking for her. He was checking for Paloma and Indy. So, now that they're gone and, the house is empty, let's get into it. Let's do this. Monty and Taylor decided, and was that a production move for making good TV? I stand by that. But about this episode, I am glad that they did show Monty chastising Taylor for her behavior, just for pulling off the headphones. Now, I am not going to say that wasn't rude. That was very rude. And she was, posturing because Brittany was there. But then the way he just went on and on and on. And then about this goddaughter. I actually saw a life, from beginning, from birth to a year. And she's like, not really, because you've been here for 3 months. I mean, that's true. I mean, it's a douchebag thing to say, but it's like, dude, you're the godfather. You're not the mother. You're not the father. You're the godfather. So in case something happens, hypothetically, that's when you take over. I mean, I'm not trying to negate his relationship with this baby, but it's like, dude, you're not the first person to see a baby from birth to 1 year old. Like, I mean, for real, like, that's like a real kiddie conversation. I can't believe I've actually seen a child be born from 0 to 1 year old. I'm like, who talks like that? Only kids talk dumb like that. That's a real stupid, immature conversation to have, Monty. But you know what? I'm not giving you grace, Monty. I was going to give you some grace today. But, so let's move on to what I really want to talk about, the cookout segment. The funny thing is, and this is an unpopular opinion, the cookout, they act as if they, are going to be in history books for black people. They're this month in black history, 6 people made an agreement to take each other to the final 6. Only to cut someone and then to chop each other off, only to let the weakest of the 6 win final 2. Like, that's history, everybody. I mean, let's just call it what it is. The Cookout made history on Big Brother, but did it really make Black history? Is it gonna be in a Black history ad for McDonald's? In a Black history ad for Comcast? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because, I've worked on those ads many, many years. But anyhow, so here's something that I noticed. I felt like that segment with the Cookout was so produced. I felt like they were given things that they could say and couldn't say. Like they went to Hannah. And Hannah, Hannah seems as though instead of going to med school, she wants to be a reporter now. She wants to be a commentator. She wants to be on the news or whatever. Like, the funny thing with Hannah is, and this is an unpopular opinion too, Hannah, you weren't even a part of the Cookout from the inception, but you own it like it's yours. Like, they weren't even sure about you, Hannah, until maybe down the final 10 that they brought you in. I don't even remember, because that's how insignificant it really is to me. Like, it was just a game that is kind of, it's blurry to me now. But like, Hannah owns the Cookout. And by the way, I know this is petty, I do not like that hair color on Hannah. Like, that just does nothing for her skin. And I feel like a lot of Black women get the wrong color for their skin tone. I'm an artist, so I feel like I can say that. That orange on her skin, on her olivey orange skin, just wasn't working for me. So then, here's what I want to talk about. Now, if you can remember back in your TV Rolodex on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, when Don Cheadle came on and he was playing Will's friend Ice Tray. If you go back and just Google it on YouTube, Don Cheadle Ice Tray, or Don Cheadle Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. If you go back and watch that scene, as Don Cheadle was mouthing his lines, saying his lines, Will was kind of doing this, just mouthing his lines along. So I'm like, what's up with that? Like, is he trying to learn? I mean, I don't know. But so that's what I found. Did you notice that Xavier was doing? Like, he was just sitting there kind of going like this, trying to remember what he was going to say, or maybe it was a nervous tick. It was something going on with Xavier that night. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the Cookout. They all gave their answers, but there's some talk about how they were all avoiding saying that Monty deserved to win. Like, nobody mentioned Monty anywhere, because Monty is, on the outside world, in the Twitter sphere, he's frowned upon because of his treatment to Taylor. So they totally negated his gameplay. I really don't know where I stand with his gameplay. I really don't. But as we know now, Turner won part 1, so I would think it was dumb of Monty to take Turner to the final 3, because he has in fact won part 1. So drop into the comments and tell me what you think. Like and subscribe.